Hey everyone, it's your buddy Reed from Grill Crazy. You might not know me because I'm usually behind the camera, but Brian couldn't make it today, and he trusted me to cook this fabulous brisket because we're having a potluck tomorrow. So I'm gonna do this overnight on our pitboss Austin XL Pellet Smoker. It's gonna be super easy. 5 simple steps. I'm gonna be with you the whole way there. Let's strap in and let's grill crazy. Alright, step 1, trim and seasoning. What we're going to do here is kind of trim down some of the fat that we have on our fat cap. We're going to take off any ends that may be sticking off like this. This is just going to burn up because it's too thin. And then our corners here, we're going to round off because you want it to be aerodynamic. Anytime you have a spot that's too thin or like a sharp corner, that's going to get too cooked. It's going to be overdone and it's not going to be juicy like the rest of the brisket. All the extra fat that we take off of this, we're gonna render down tomorrow to make some nice beef tallow. And then the extra meat that we take off, we can just throw in the freezer and make burgers or sausage out of it later, something like that. I think actually we're gonna start with this little mohawk piece here. You wanna bring the fat cap down to about 1/4 inch thick. Any more than that, it's not gonna render all the way down. And you wanna make sure you can get some good seasoning in there. This particular brisket doesn't have too much of a fat cap on it, so we're just kind of trying to clean up a bit of the silver skin here because that doesn't taste very good, and we want our seasoning to stick on there. Let's flip her over. We got some silver skin here to take care of, but not too much. This is a giant chunk of hard fat right here. I'll take it off. Usually the fat will render down, but this piece would take forever to render down. It's so thick and hard. Just try your best to scoop it out, kinda. Look at that. That's gonna take a million years to render down, so we're just gonna try to turn this into tallow later. Now you don't wanna remove all the fat because fat is flavor, but not all of it's gonna render down. So you do wanna get that hard stuff out of there. You can just keep trimming until you're happy with it. I'm pretty good with this. Maybe a couple other things I'm gonna take out here, little chunks of harder fat. Now that I've got most of the silver skin trimmed off of there, I'm just gonna round the corners. Anything that's like really thin like this, that's gonna burn up because you're leaving it on the same time as you're leaving on this big thick piece here. So obviously that's gonna finish faster. So we're just gonna round it off a bit. Make sure our sides are nice and round. It may look like I'm cutting a lot off, but we're just gonna save this all for burgers or stew even. Makes a really good beef stew. Like all that right there, that's still good meat. We're gonna use this another day. Round this a little bit at the end here. All right, I think that's pretty good. Now we're gonna season it up. First, we're gonna season the fat cap. We're doing that because on a pellet smoker, we're gonna put the fat cap down because that heat is coming right from the bottom, so we need the fat to protect our meat. Today, we're just using a salt, pepper, garlic mixture. Don't be afraid to do a nice heavy coat because this is a big chunk of meat. I like to hold the shaker about 12 inches above your meat to get a more even spread. Don't forget the sides. That's a rookie move to forget the sides. You know what? Let's do a little crazy rub for an extra measure. It's always okay to do a combo. In fact, why don't you let us know in the comments down below, what's your favorite rub to use on a brisket? Maybe we'll make a video out of it. Oh yeah. That's looking good. Let's flip her over. And the crazy rub. If you want to know how to make this, check out the card right here. It's a good video. It's a good rub. We're gonna let that sit for a little bit while we get that smoker going. We'll check back in a bit. Now it's time for step 2, the overnight smoke. We've got our nicely seasoned brisket here. We've got our pitboss Austin XL set at 200 degrees. We're gonna let it go all night, not even gonna look at it. I'm gonna have dreams about this, but we're not gonna look at it. We're putting fat cap down because our heat comes from the bottom. So we gotta protect the meat. Right there in the middle. And we're gonna stick our meter probe in here, right near the point. Now we're gonna put this baby to bed. It's about 10 p.m. right now. We're gonna check on it about 8 in the morning. Let it go for a good 10 hours and we'll see what it's up to. Stick around.
Let's go crazy.
Hey everyone, good morning. I don't know about you, but I had a great sleep. This has been on here for 10 straight hours. I haven't even looked at it. My meter probe was reading about 175, 180. So I think it's time for step 3, the wrap. Oh yeah, look at that. Bark is setting in nice there. Woo! Alright, so I just probed it. We're sitting around 175 internal, which means we're sitting in the stall right now. The stall needs a little bit of help to push through. What we're going to do is wrap this with some aluminum foil. We're actually not going to wrap it all the way around. We're going to do the foil boat method today to help preserve some of the nice bark that we've gained on top of here. So we're just going to lay down a couple of sheets of foil. And now we're just going to place our brisket right on here. It's going to be hot. Not bad, actually. And then simply enough, you just roll up the sides. And then toss it back in. Now, there are a couple of spots that are looking a little bit dry, so I'm going to hit it with some spritz. This is just apple cider vinegar and some Coke. That's looking fantastic right there. I'm going to bump our smoker temperature up to 250 degrees right now. And now let's put it back to bed. We're going to let it go until it comes up to an internal temperature of around 205 degrees. We're going to make sure that when we probe it, it's going to be just like butter. That's how you know it's done. So we'll put it to bed, and we'll check back in a bit.
Many hours later.
All right, now we've had our brisket in the foil boat for about 4.5 hours. It's almost 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Why don't we check it out, see how it's probing? Oh yeah, look at that bark. Oh, that's like butter. Look at it, right in there. This is ready to come off. Now, because it's only 1 in the afternoon, we're not ready to eat this yet. So what we're gonna do is the next step, which is the rest. We're gonna take this, bring it in the house, leave it uncovered for about half an hour so we can bring down the internal temp. And then we're gonna stick it in our oven at 170 degrees, as low as it will go, just to keep it warm until dinner time. It's gonna let the juices continue to circulate inside, and then we'll be ready to slice and enjoy it. We'll see you in a bit. All right, now it's time for a bonus tip, and that's making beef tallow. Remember at the beginning during the trim where we took off all that meat and fat? Well, we're gonna use it because we don't waste any of this stuff. So I tried my best to separate the meat from the fat that we took off. We ended up getting almost 1.5 pounds of meat, which is great. If you want to make like sausage or burgers or something, throw it in a meat grinder. We're probably gonna make beef stew out of this because it is so good on a cold winter day. Then I took all of our fat, diced it up as small as I could. I don't have a meat grinder. If you do, throw it in there, get it really small, and it'll render down easier because you have more surface area. So anyways, I threw it all in this pot, put it on medium, and we're just letting it simmer until all of that fat comes out. It'll melt away, and then we're gonna strain it later, and we'll show you when we get to that point. Okay, our fat's been rendering down for a little over an hour now, and we got a nice amount of liquid gold in the bottom of this pot. We're gonna strain it. I don't have any cheesecloth, that would be ideal, but I have paper towel here. Just put it into a strainer, and we're gonna send it into this metal bowl right here. Just take off our lid, pour that in there. We're gonna let this render down even more because there's still some more fat in there that we can get out. So we're just gonna let this drip through. The paper towel is gonna pick up all the little particles of meat that we don't need in there. And we're gonna send this through a funnel into Jari right here. Look at that. That's the good stuff. We might do this process 1 or 2 more times before we're done with this fat because there's still a little bit left in there. That'll store in your fridge for about up to 3 months. You can use it whenever you're making vegetables in a pan or something like that, or just wherever you need cooking oil. You can use some of this. It gives a little bit of extra beef flavor. It's a really nice touch. So that's the process on how to make beef tallow. Next up is going to be the final step in our brisket cook, and that is the slice. All right, we're all done. We've got her sliced up. It was a whole day process, but we made it. The only thing left now is to get a beer and enjoy this.
Did you call? I heard there was brisket.
Oh, you're over here?
I'm over here. Oh, buddy, you did so good.
Woo!
Look at that.
Look at the bark on this.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Isn't that crazy?
That
That's
is
crazy bark.
That is crazy bark, and it looks so good.
What'd you bring here? Lake of the Woods Dead Man Switch?
You got it. I figured a strong brisket needed a strong beer.
Clinky.
Clinky.
Oh, God, I love that.
Oh, that is good. Almost as good. Brisket. Way to do all the hard work, eh?
I was not up all night.
Well, that's good. I'm glad. That overnight brisket.
I set it and forget it.
That's the best thing. Well, let's not forget about this. Let's get into it, shall we?
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Got a nice bark on that.
Fell apart during the slicing. You
I
know?
see that. Clinky.
Clinky.
Mmm. Oh, mama. That's a solid bark and smoke ring. I hope you weren't looking for leftovers because you ain't getting any. Oh, buddy. I'm so proud.
Did I do good, Papa?
You done good, my boy. You done good. Oh, that is delicious. Well, I can't wait to watch the rest of the episode to see how you did this.
Magic.
Magic.
It's magic.
It tastes like magic. Well, I'm just here for the beer. You sign off, my man.
Just remember, the next time you grill,
Grill crazy.
that's right.